Good evening and welcome to Jenny and Damo's house. Here we are again, a little later than what we were going to be on, but anyway, we're here. And as you sound there, laughter. That's what it's all about. The main thing is that you're here tonight with us, and it's a real pleasure to have you with us. To all our international viewers that are watching tonight, be good evening. To all our national viewers that are watching, good evening also. And to all our friends, family, and everybody that is going to be watching this special presentation tonight, a big good evening also. So, what's it all about? Well, I said that we were going to do a second presentation by public demand. And of course, the nice thing is that when we're doing these presentations, it's great to be able to come out of the salon and do something completely different. Like I said the other night, it was a question of who lives in a house like this. Obviously, Jenny and Damo very, very kindly tonight donated their house to us, which we'll be doing Summer's hair very shortly. But before then, obviously, it's great because, like I say, it all starts with a journey. Hair is like a canvas, it's like a piece of art. You have to think of it as being able to move it around, create magic, do something completely different with it. And that's the beautiful thing about being a hairdresser, as we all know. Tonight we'll be showcasing the products, how the products work with the haircut. And also, of course, we'll be doing things that probably some people have never seen before, in a situation where, you know, it's the dog. So, of course, there you are. So, we'll be doing things that you've probably never seen before. We're working with products in different ways. We'll be using cutting techniques that are a little bit different to what you've probably never seen before. The reason we're a little bit later tonight is because we've actually prepared someone's hair already. We won't be cutting from a wet canvas and the wet relationship of the haircut. We'll be going to cutting on dry tonight for a completely different change. Because again, I want to up the game slightly and also showcase how good the products work. To all our international friends at Muck, Mark, Paula, Leah and Clive, big good evening. It's a real pleasure to be working with you and such a fantastic product. Also a big good evening to everybody at Muck Central, Alan Maxwell, Mr Green, Mrs Green and everybody at Muck Central, especially Justina as well, big good evening if you're watching. CJ Jones if you're watching also tonight, it's always great
Lennox
to have you on
Jill.
there. Who's it, sorry?
Lennox Jill.
Lennox Gill, nice to see you with us tonight, bro. As you can see, there's no alcohol with me tonight. I'm not drinking whiskey. I'm actually on no alcohol whatsoever. So at the end of the day, Damo is drinking, but it's all good. Andy Hardy, nice to see you. Big mate, great to see you tonight. I'm guessing that Grace will be watching also, and Lynn Marie Atkinson. It's great to have you with us. Also, big evening to the Saxon family if you're on also tonight. It's always great to have everybody with us to give up your time away from Coronation Street. I was debating sitting on the sofa tonight actually to start this film and just have Coronation Street on so you can actually see me relax, because I do actually relax, but I normally watch Midsummer's Murders or Death in Paradise, something that's a little bit different. So let me introduce you without further ado to our beautiful model that we have tonight, the sister that was filming the other night to Cameron. Let's give it up for Summer! Woo! Let's give us a nice little wave, Summer. That's it, there we go. So Summer will be working with us tonight. I said, yeah. So, Summer will be working with us tonight. We'll be working on Summer's hair. We have actually prepared Summer's hair earlier. So let's just look at what we've been doing. We've been working with the Muck Blonde Toning Shampoo. Now what's nice about this is it's actually got the blue colour. So of course the beautiful thing about this is that when it hits the blonde tones of Summer's hair, it really emphasises and brings the blonde out even more, almost like rejuvenating it. We then used the 1 minute blonde toning treatment, which again, really nice beautiful colour there. Everybody will be thinking, that's lovely. Again, all designed in Australia to bring out the blonde and make it look even prominent. We then went on to use an unusual product, one of my favourite products at the moment. This is actually Kinky Muck Curl Leave-In Moisturiser. What's interesting about this is it was designed for curly hair, but I love using it on straight hair because it gives it an unbelievable finish, which you'll see in a minute. We then went on to use Fat Muck Blowout Mousse, which is my favourite cutting lotion, which again, I always put that on as a canvas because it contains conditioner and also allows me to see what's going on. We then added, because I am a risk taker, the same as the spa oil, we used the beard oil, which again, I thought it would bring it out and make it completely different. That's it, I was waiting for it to bring it over to me, thanks, hi. So that's really what we've used already so far, and then we've gone in with the Muck wide plate straighteners, which we've sort of brought into the equation as well to make it even more interesting. So rather than using the normal Let's get the right way around. Normal thin straighteners, we went for the wide plates tonight just for a slight change. Now let's just have a little look at Summer's hair while they heat up, because we've specifically prepared one half already of the hair, so you can see what we're doing. That's it, lady. Thank you, sweetheart. So you can now see the gloss that's on the hair. So you can see with this, the blonde's re-emphasised with the blue shampoo. You can also see just how smooth that looks with the beard oil and also the leave-in curl moisturiser conditioner. But again, it's preparing the canvas, making sure it's right. So when I come in to do the cut, I need this hair to be lying in the right position. So when I do the cut, it will sit perfect. And when we come around to the other side, which we've specifically left, over this way, Jen. That's it, nice one, that's good. You can see the difference on here, it looks a bit more coarser. We've got to go through it and work it to make it look even smoother. So I specifically left this side deliberately just so that I could actually showcase just how that works. We've got anybody that's come on tonight, so I can say hello to anybody before I get into the cut. Let's have a look, who we got? Oh yes, nice disco down there. Chris Fellows, good to see you as well on there. And also good to see Richard McKinder. Rakesh, good to see you on there, the number plate man. It's #1 number plate man in Leicester. So what you're going to see, if you come around the front and film Summer now, you can actually see the difference from side to side. So you can actually see the pre-prepared side, and you can actually see the side I'm going to work on in a minute. Now, let's just talk about the cut. Once I've actually done the straightening, I will actually go through a one-length haircut.
Ryan.
Sorry, who's that?
Sophia Ryan, Summer's friend.
One of your friends. Hello, Sophia Ryan, Summer's friend. So we're going to go through the length at the bottom and cut that in a square line. We're then going to come through with a safety razor through the sides and put some blending in. We're going to drop a fringe in as well that's asymmetrical. We'll use some curved scissors to then take the weight out of here with a convex layer, the same shape as an eyeball, which will then make that blending even better. It will then get even more complicated because I will then lift the hair up and then stroke into the hair as I'm cutting it to make it look even more interesting, which will then take the layers slightly around here, that's it, which will make it even slightly shorter gradually. But the beautiful thing about it is that when it's blow dried, it will look smooth and sleek and bend under slightly, but with a beautiful invisible layer. Now we'll be working with the roadmap of the head, so let's just go through what we're doing. We're going to be working with the recession on the top. We'll be working with the parietal ridge, that's the bone that literally divides the head on the top to the sides, and where that bend is on the head. We'll be working with the apex on the top. We'll also be working with the upper occipital bone. We'll then go into the protruding bone that sticks out of the skull, which you'd use for a graduated bob, which you would go no shorter, which is the occipital bone. We'll then be working, which will be the starting point of this cut tonight, which is the lower occipital bone. We'll then be working with the bone that protrudes out of the back of the ear, which is called the mastoid process, and we may be working with the nape also tonight. So let's get the muck style straighteners, style stick.
James Hickman.
James Hickman, nice to see you with us tonight.
Sally Ann Dexter.
Sally Ann Dexter. Hello, my darling, how are you? Thank you so much for what you have done for me with education. What can I say? You're a star, a real inspiration to me. Thank you so much for what you've done. Buster Dalton, good to see you with us as well tonight. Buster, you need to ring up and see where you're coming in next. I haven't seen you for a while.
Dan Marston, Convex.
Nice to see the Convex, that's right. Good to see you with us tonight. So, this is the one straight. Now you can see the plate, how it works. You've got a normal plate, and then inside you've got a red light in there. That's got ions in there, which basically takes away the negative, well, it's basically the positive hair that sticks out and turns it into negative, which then makes it smooth, which you can see now. We're getting a nice finish, which is what we want. Summer's hair's got to look absolutely perfect for this. In order to do the dry relationship of the haircut, it's actually got to be absolutely perfect. Because if you were to lay scissors onto a haircut and cut it dry normally, you wouldn't get a nice finish. So you need to make sure that the hair sits absolutely perfect. So of course we've prepared it, as I said, with all these products earlier on. We've took the time with the round brush to get it perfect, which of course will take me back to the days of when Sally Ann Dexter was teaching me how to blow dry on the old courses.
Tracy Williams.
Tracy Williams, good to see you with us tonight. Woo! Part of the Saxon family. That's good to have you with us tonight on there.
Sarah Gunn.
Sarah Gunn, nice to have you with us also tonight. My cousin. It's great, sorry, just trying not to get out.
Damien joined as well.
Damien Hers, the guy that owns the house, has joined us tonight. Nice to see you with his demo tonight. He's just watching what's going on from the other room, which is good. So again, what we're doing is now just building it up slowly. You can see, just by doing this, it's a nice wide plate. It just gives you a chance just to put this through. A lot of people have asked me about this wide plate. They've actually asked me about these straighteners. They've actually turned around and said, "Speak of the devil, here he is," but he's not watching.
Hello.
Let's give it a wave.
I'd say hello, Josh.
there's Cameron over there from the other night. That's it. Excellent.
Not drinking
Not
beer.
drinking beer, of course. Yes, that's right. Well done, Cameron. Excellent. So now we're just coming through again, just keeping that smooth. Let's just take this next shield off because it just showcases everything that little bit better. So again, it's really important. So again, it's important to get things smooth and get them looking right. Big good evening also, Sally Ann Dexter's still on, to John McLean if he's with you tonight. Trevor, do miss John. It's a good old time when we're in Los Angeles. Do think about the old days quite a bit. It's absolutely brilliant. The old days when we used to tour the world together. Brilliant. So, that's what makes us what we are and what we're able to share to others, especially the younger generation. So once I've gone through this back quadrant, we're then going to move on to the side quadrant and make sure that that all sits perfect, and then we'll start with the cut, which will be really nice. As like I say, tonight it's going to be quite interesting because we're working with the dry relationship of the haircut, which again is challenging. We're working without a mirror as well, which again is challenging, and we're working from a house, out of salon and on location, which again is challenging. But again, I like to... Sharon McCaffrey, nice to see you with us tonight, sweetheart. I hope you're really well, and I hope the cats have left you a space on the sofa. I'm guessing Nick's with you or he's away. I've not seen him on Facebook for, well, today, so I'm guessing he's either at home or he's in Poland, or he might be with Wolfgang. But I hope you're okay. I'm sure I'll see you at the weekend.
Chloe Neville.
Chloe Neville, happy 18th birthday. I have got you a card and a really nice present when you come back to work, but I hope you had a great 18th, and yes, I am missing you at work. It'll be nice when you come back. I'll see you soon. Alright. Right, I'm going to shuffle around a little bit more. See a bit more around there. Perfect. Right, so Lynn Marie Atkinson. Woo! Grace will be there. Big mate will be there. Right. Nice little trick for you. Diagonal back section. What this does now is, as we put the arm up in the air with the section, it gives us a chance to be able to get the bend at the front. Because what it's doing is it's dictating where we need to be going. Just come around this way.
I'm showing you.
That's fine. Okay, sorry. I thought you were... Sorry.
No, I'm showing you.
That's it. Oh, the arm movement. You mean the mechanics
The mechanic.
of what I'm doing? That's it. That's what it's called, the mechanics. You have to think about how you're standing. It's really important. So again, just going through this nice and steady. Don't want to go too fast because again, we need to keep it clean, keep it smooth, so everything just sits in nice. And again, this is crucial to get all this to lie really, really nice. That's it. Let's have a nice little smile there. That's it. All the viewers at home or around the world will be watching thinking, she looks really serious. That's it. So, you can see there's a big kink in here. So just got to just work on that a little bit. Apply a little bit more pressure, but not pulling too hard, and then bringing it round towards the face. Now, when I come through this with a razor blade shortly, like I say, I cannot emphasise just how this needs to be sitting. It needs to be sitting really smooth into position the way I like it to be, so I can get it perfect. So again, the idea is perfect sections, perfect straightening, gives a perfect haircut.
Jamie Brown, Good Life Food.
Jamie Brown, nice to see you with us tonight. I hope you're well on there. Thank you. Well, the good thing is we're working off a different Wi-Fi tonight, which means we'll stay on as opposed to disappearing.
Andy Hardy.
Andy Hardy, Mr. Smooth. I've got a picture for you what I took off a van today, which says smooth plastering, which I thought of you. I managed to get the car to stop and took the photo, so I'll send it to you privately later. You'll find it funny. I thought of you straight away. I thought big mate will love that. So now the last section. Sorry.
Ross Cunningham.
Ross Cunningham. How are you, my sweet baby? The parietal ridge. We'll be working with that later. Your favourite position. Of course, second knuckle. I know you're into all that. I hope you're okay, Ross. I missed you on Sunday at Primal. Hopefully we'll see you this Sunday. So now we'll just bring it around. This is like a workout. Ross, you should have a go at this sometime. You'd enjoy it. It is like a proper workout on long hair. So again, just making sure everything sits nice. You can really see the difference now it's really starting to shine and look really quite nice through there. That's it. Jenny's just putting the camera in my face, so I can't really sort of see what I'm doing.
No, I'm showing the viewers what you're doing.
Thank you. Thanks. That's it. Yeah, it's nice if I can see. Thanks. I am the creator. I used to say that years ago. I am the creator. So that's it. So there we go now. Everything's all nice and smooth and ready to
Paul
go.
King, highest guy.
Paul King, Kingy from Essex. Good to see you with us tonight. Kingy, hope the family's really good. Hope you're really good. So now we're going to go into the highway of the hair. So we're going to be working from the apex, coming through, subdividing to the back of the ear, which is the mastoid process. And then we'll come back down the middle section to then be able to subdivide the haircut. I want to come around this way, so you need to go around that way. That's it. There you go. It's like theatre. You have to be able to manoeuvre with the actor. Right, so down the back. Come round here, come round here. That's it.
Just come and move out of the way.
That's because I didn't want to knock you in the face with my arm. Right, so now we've got a clean section through the back, because again, we need to keep this really clean. So if you bring the camera that way, I can switch over with you and then you can see what I'm doing. So now we're just keeping it nice and clean on sections. Again, this is the apex we're starting from. I'd assumed we were going to start from the lower occipital bone, but we're going to go from the occipital bone. Right, so this little piece I don't quite like. This is a great way just to show off these straighteners. So just put it on there, on it goes, and then it comes out nice and smooth. Which is what I want. Look at that little one stroke action straight on there. That's what I love doing those with muck straighteners. It just always gives us a nice finish. Right, so.
Parla Parfa, Joyce.
Is it, sorry?
Parla Parfa.
Big good evening. Nice to have you with us tonight. So, let's get the scissors. I just need to pick which ones I'm going to use. Yeah, you've got them, haven't you? I was thinking, where's my scissors? Where's my comb? Where's my scissors? Where's my comb? Right, so we're going to use the tight part of this the blade and the tighter part of the
Barbara
comb.
Billings joined. Hiya!
Hi Barbara, hope you're okay. Nice to see you, sweetheart. Looking forward to seeing you at the weekend. Hope Paul's okay as well. And the girls. Right, so this bit's really important now. This is where we're going to put the design line in. So this is where it really does get important to make sure that everything's right. Let's just make sure that muck gown's all clipped up. So make sure the legs are not crossed, and then we take the middle section, keeping it nice and clean. Everybody has to stay nice and still, and then we'll just go in and just really stamp that line in. Okay, I did this once in a restaurant in the middle of people that were eating. Somebody said to me once, she said, "Would you do my hair?" So I said, "Of course I would." So I actually just got up there and did it. Straightened their hair out and really went for it. And yeah, it was very good. Something very different. It's nice when you can take your skill set to different places, like in a kitchen. Nobody would think it'd be possible, but it's just good. I mean, the lighting's perfect. You can see what's going on with everything. So there's our design line. Now we're going to go straight into the apex for this part. So we go straight off the top to the back of the mastoid process, and then we replicate that on the other side as well. So I'll just shoot over, and then we then come through to the side parts in a minute. So the idea is you keep everything really smooth and clean with your work, because again, that's what it's all about. Let's just bring the camera back a bit. That's it. So I've got a bit of space, not too far back, otherwise you'll be struggling up against the wall. That's it. Okay, so again, stamping the line in, keeping it really nice and clean. You want to get all those dead ends off. You can really see the difference. Now again, the important part of this is, when you cut in a straight line, you have to angle the comb down just slightly. If you angle it too straight, what will happen is the side will lip up and give you a shorter edge. If you angle it slightly, as it dries, theoretically it goes into a straight line. So you are cutting it slightly in like a concave shape on each side. Just a bit of information there for you. So people wonder why some bits tend to lip up, but that's how it works. And again, you'll see I'm cutting through a comb. If you've never cut through a comb before, try it, because this acts as a ruler, so you can actually get a really nice clean edge. If you're using your fingers, generally what tends to happen is, some of you will probably say, "Oh, that happens to me now," I'll say this. Put your fingers on, what happens is you cut it, and it starts to turn, or it's got longer pieces underneath. That's what makes that happen.
Nick McCarthy, word up school.
Nick McCaffrey, nice to see you with us, bro. Hope you're okay. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. I need to change your time. I know it's not right to set over here, but I've got to change it to 2 if I can, if that's a problem, because we're doing a charity event in the evening. So I'll send you a private inbox message. All right, bro. Be nice to see you. So let's come round this side here. Where are you tonight? Are you in Poland, Germany, or are you at home?
Fiona Masters joined.
Nice to see you, Fiona. I hope you're well on there tonight. So we've now got the cut on the baseline, which is the most important part of the cut, because this is what dictates the rest of the haircut. So now we're going to go and get a razor. It's going to get really exciting. So safety razor, here we go. So subdividing from the apex again, because you need the discipline in this cut. Now if you were to go, let's say you were to go further back from the back of the ear, what would happen is it would start to V the haircut, so it would V into the back. So if you went past there, that's what would happen. So that's why you go to the back of the ear, because it just keeps the discipline. There will be a disconnection at the very bottom, which we'll join in later. But for the time being, I tend to be really disciplined on this, so you can see both clips at the
Nick,
bottom.
no problem.
Thanks, Nick. You're an absolute star. Okay, let's come back round this side. Jenny, that's it. Right, so now what's going to happen here? We're having a C-shape curvature haircut on here. So what happens is we're going to go short on the top, where the part of the razor is, and it's going to come into a real nice turn into the bottom to give us a C-shape. Now you can do it one of 2 ways. You can lift it up and cut it that way, or you can come into it with a pair of scissors that way. You can flick it off with a pair of scissors, or you can razor it. So of course I've decided to razor it. So 2 things you need on this. Most people would never razor when it's dry, but you can razor as long as you've got a real sharp blade. So
Andy Hardy.
Andy Hardy, yes, big mate.
I want to look at the camera lady.
That's fine, I can make that possible for you.
Really?
Hold on, there's the camera lady here. Give us a little wave. Here's the camera. Oh, Maggie Quinny, nice to see you. There you go. Mark Pierpoint, all the way from France. How you doing, Mark? Good to see you. Mike, nice to see you. Woohoo! Tucker. Should imagine Caroline's with you. Nice to see you there also. And your friends. I'm guessing Shag's with you as well. Right, so got to keep it flat with 0 tension. I'm going to go from about the nose area. Now, I'm going to cut this towards the fingers, so it's just going to go straight in and literally just glide the razor blade through. You can start to see the shape already. Lift your head up. That's it. Good one. That's it. So we can now start to see what's happening. So you've got to really stay on this and see exactly where it's going. And you cut the blade towards your fingers. And as you do that, it doesn't cut you and it doesn't cut the guest. But you can start to see that shape starting to appear as we're doing this. So now we literally just angle it slightly out. Again, bring it through. Now as I'm dragging my fingers down, this is this finger here, that's protecting the length, because without doing that you will lose the length and it will take it straight off. So we're now starting to get that C shape. Now as we get towards the bottom, let's just bring the camera back a bit. That's it, just a little bit, that's fine, I can see what's going on now. As you start to bring it out, you can see I'm dragging it through, but bringing it slightly forward, and now you can really start to see that turn is really starting to come in. It is like magic. I always think that whenever you cut hair, it is a real nice thing to be able to do and create some magic. So now you can see, got a real nice turn coming in there. Let's just take a little bit more out of there, just a fraction. Because again, it's a very visual thing when you're working on a canvas of hair. And again, this is very different to show this because obviously I've not got a mirror, what I'm working with. And I'm doing it on dry hair. So any mistakes, you'll see it immediately because there's no way you can get out of it. So what you get now is a disconnection at the bottom. Just bring that round and then just to bring that in slightly. And that joins that to the bottom, and then you've got a really nice finish, which then just joins that in, and there you go. There is the first side of the haircut, which gives us a really nice C shape. So now we're going to go and replicate that on the other side. So let's come around this side. Yes, let's. So there's some look.
Maggie, don't cut yourself again.
No, I won't, Maggie. Thank you, sweetheart. Don't worry, it's fixed. Now you won't even know it's there. Amazing what super glue can do for you. It really is. I need it super glued for when I'm with Jeremy on Friday because I'll be picking up the weights again, no doubt.
How did you put your son's hair? I don't know.
Okay, we go then, right, we're on it now. So here we go, we're going again. So we're just going to come straight on and we're using the fingers the opposite way now. You can really see this from the angle that Jenny's on now. You can really see that cut in action. See how it just drops in. So again, you have to sort yourself up to do this just so you can figure out where it's going and what it's doing, but you can really see that shape. I should imagine you've got a nice little camera angle there as you can see what's going on. I like the pressure of this because you know that you cannot make any mistakes. It's got to really sit perfect, it's got to look perfect, and you've got to have trust in your tools and your teachers. So thank you to all my teachers that have taught me, and yeah, thanks to all my tools really for working. Right, you're only as good as your tool or your tool's as good as you. Whichever way you look at it. Okay, so you can now see you've got a real nice C-shaped curve. Let's just make sure we've not missed anything on this side, and then we'll go into the exciting part of the layering in a minute in the back. Okay, so now if we come back round to the back, that's it. We're going to go from, that's it, apex down to the mastoid process again. So now we need to subdivide this. What we're going to be doing now, folks, friends, followers, is we're going to be putting a layer through the back section here, which makes this look interesting, and then bring it through to a rounder layer on the top. So the idea is this part will look as if it's smooth, very smooth, without any lines in it, and then also it will create a lot of movement in the hair as well. So that's what you have to think of. So we're now just going to go through the back section. My beautiful wife has just arrived. Yeah, but
no, don't.
It's nice to see you, sweetheart. So we're now just going to divide. That's it. Keep the camera on. We're just now just going to take it from the apex through to the upper occipital bone and across to. So we're going to go from the upper occipital bone to the mastoid process. That's it. So I just got put off because Glenda came in. I was just looking over and I saw Glenda and I thought, oh yes, that's my beautiful wife. Hello, darling. Right, so let's get back into it. So this is what's going to happen now. We're going to be working on a section through the back and give us a really nice layer. So this is how it works. Jen's going to go over the other side of me and you'll be able to see what's going on. You need to just go back a bit. Right, so as I now pull this out, that's the length as that drops because we need to protect that. This part here has got to come off, and the way you're going to do that is that has to stay the same height as the head at all times. We're then going to be using the edges of the blades, and then it's a flicking motion. So what it gives us is this real soft, jagged effect, which is called a stroking technique. So here we go. Just basically just slice it in, and like magic, you really see it now because it's dry. You can do it on wet as well. People see me do it on wet hair. And then of course it's a moving guide, so I'll just come round this way to 7 o'clock. So I'm just going to come round to the other part, and then you start to see it as it falls now. Again, it's like creating a straight line, but it's also very magical. And this again, moving round now to 8 o'clock. It's quite a quick technique, but again, you just have to make sure you preserve that length. So if we just look at what I'm doing here, you can really sort of see that's all still protected, the length's there. We'll come back round now to 5 o'clock.
Karen Booth says you make it look easy.
Hello Karen Booth, great to see you with us tonight. I'm guessing that Ian's there as well. Thank you for your very kind words. The reason it's easy is because Glenda had to put up with 6 months of watching this on videos and having mannequin dolls in the living room. Isn't that right, darling?
Exactly, yeah.
And hair all over the floor. But practice makes perfect, which is what it's all about. And again, this is nice because it is a layer, but it's also a very, very soft layer at that. And again, because we're showcasing it in dry as it's been done and being created, it just makes it interesting. So let's just go from now the apex to the mastoid process, which is what I should have said earlier on in that respect. Now I'm just going to come through the other side to replicate it. That's it. So now just bring it through here. Got a different camera person now, everybody. You've got Glenda filming. So, hello darling. Right, you need to come over this side, Baba. That's it. Come round here, that's it. Nice camera angle. Right, so, here we go. Just call out everybody to come on. So again, if we can emphasise, keep that to the same height as the head. this is the length we're replicating from, and then we just carry on. And again, it's just really it's called a stroking technique, so literally just stroking it off as it just literally comes into the shape. That's it. So now you can see the shape coming through. So just move around again. So we come round to 4 o'clock, so 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, that's it. It's on the wrong side of the clock from there. And then just...
Barbara Billing, looking good, summer.
Thank you, Barbara. Nice to see you with us on there. I'm guessing Paul's okay as well. Like I say, I'll play some Rod Stewart on Saturday night. Make sure you bring your CD with you and I'll put it on for you. Then I'll get the right track for you this time. Alright, my darling. So, now we come through to really stretching it around to the 8 o'clock. So now we've got the soft edge just there. Now we come back through the other way. That's it. Now we're going to move back round to 5 o'clock. Again, it's called a travelling guide because what it does is it takes a little bit of weight off the corners and gives Summer's hair a really little bit of interest. Okay, now we go 4 o'clock. Step back a bit, Baba, and then you can, that's it. That's the one. And again, it's quite easy. It's just a nice, it's like planing hair off, like on a piece of wood. It's quite smooth. You can just see now, just try and slide down a bit for you so it's not at show speed. That's it, and you can really just see it just glide off as it comes off. If you were to put the blade up at the wrong angle, this is what would happen without cutting it. Just put it up like that and it just cuts it and it just back combs. So that's not what you're after. You're after it really smooth. So the only way you get it smooth is to turn the blade towards the head and cut that way. So now we bring the sides in. Who else has come on?
Derek Gardner.
Derek Gardner, great to see you with us tonight, Derek Gardner. Really looking forward to seeing you on Saturday night.
That's what he just said.
It'll be absolutely brilliant. How bizarre is that? I'm really looking forward to seeing you. Hope the Kim's okay. Should be really nice to have you with the pleasure of us on Saturday evening. I need to get you as a friend on Facebook actually. So, now we're coming through the top part. Again, it needs to be the same height as the head as we're doing this part. So I cannot emphasise how important it is, otherwise you get drag. If you get drag, it doesn't sit right and it just doesn't look right. Okay, here we go then. Now we move around 7 o'clock. And then just keep it moving. So everything sits nice. And again, all we do now is just bring everything into the mastoid process. So at this point now, we're on the corner of the chair or the mastoid process, which then allows the layering to then join from the sides to the back, which then just finishes it off. So, that now is the completion of the first part there. I'm now going to move back around that way towards you. That's it. Ooh, that's it. Here we go then. Right, now we go through to the next part. So we'll move around to 5. Sorry, you don't need to stand over near the oven, it's fine. I'm not going to give you a karate chop. Fine. I'm Kung Fu. That's it. I'll be asking for a 57 with some Cantonese style. That's it, here we go then. So, hold it up. That's it.
It's held off.
I know, that's right. That's the one. Okay.
Amy Lavender, woo!
Amy Lavender, woo! Your dad's made the vest today. I'm really looking forward
Ben's
to seeing
wrote
it.
that apparently.
You get a chance. Nice to see you, Bam Bam. Hope you're okay tonight, Bam Bam. Looking forward to training with you on Sunday. Okay, so now we'll just lift it up.
Mark Mitchell Morgan still remembers you doing Wendy, my mum's hair on the green.
Oh, it was ages ago. Great to
All
see you,
them
Grant.
years ago. Keep up your hard work, Scott.
Thank you, Grant. I really appreciate that. It was a pleasure to share the stage with you a long time ago at the Green King as well. Thank you for that. Right, so now we're going to go through the top part because we're working between 2 parts here. So we'll now be working from the apex to the upper occipital bone and putting a shape in that area there. So let's just move Jenny over to the other side. And then what we'll do now is we'll put these layers in. Again, still keeping it quite soft and strong. So the only way we can do this now is elevate it up. So it needs to be the same as if you were doing a layer. And then literally in it goes again and soften it off. And then all you do then is pivot around to 7 o'clock. Exactly the same as before, because again, if you were to cut it at the same height as the head, it would create drag, which would not look right. So if you think of this as doing a rounded layer where you're lifting the hair out at a 45-degree angle, that's what you're doing with your hands, but creating the shape, but with a orange segment effect, which is the only way that you can do this. So you have to really work the mechanics of the arms in order to get the height. So, now come through to this side. You should really see it well, and then we go through the top layers, do a little bit of blending through the front, and then literally it's a question of doing the last bits of finish, re-emphasise the products, and then you'll be able to tune into Coronation Street or whatever you've missed tonight, put the children to bed, which of course we're very appreciative that you've been able to stay with us tonight and watch what we're doing. Right, so now we're working on the top part. We'll be working with Ross Cunningham's favourite bone in a second, which is the parietal ridge, which is literally just here. Let's bring the camera over, that's it. So the parietal ridge is here, which will divide the haircut, so you'll have a square layer first, followed by, on the parietal ridge, the rounded layer. So that's the discipline on this part. So again, it's just really important to make sure you've got the height. Again, keep it straight. Come in with a point cut. Now at the parietal ridge, turn slightly. So it works, there's the guide. And then literally just coming into, this is where you've got to watch your fingers. Don't worry, Maggie, I've got some glue in case I cut myself tonight. It's very rare I do that. You watch now, I go and cut myself. Glenda will have to come over here and start looking after me. But she looks after me anyway. Don't you, Bam Bam?
Gemma Perrins joined and Claire Murkett.
Gemma Perrin.
Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Gemma. Nice to see you with us. And the other lady is?
Claire Murkett, I think.
How are you, Claire? Nice to see you with us tonight. Hope you're okay. Hopefully you'll be loving this. It's one of your favourite sayings. Loving it. Hope your mum's okay if she's watching as well. Nice to see you with us as well. So yeah, live from a kitchen tonight, just for a slight change. But yeah, it'd be nice to see you again. Hopefully you're well.
Paul Talbot, Brogan Smith.
Paul Talbot, big good evening. Brogan Smith, big good evening also tonight. I hope you're well. Here comes Damo, we might offer Glenda a little beverage maybe. That's it. Okay, that's it, keep the camera on. That's it. Try not to get distracted by your husband, that's it. Thanks for that. Okay, so again, it's all about the mechanics, making sure that everything's all alright. So now we've got, you can see with the layer, it's starting to make everything just fall through nice and smooth. That's knocking out that weight, which is what I needed it to do. So let's come through to the other side now, and we can do the layers over here. So again, we're working immediately from nearly at the parietal ridge, coming up into the air, point cutting, that's it. I was waiting for the camera. That's it, hi there. So now we're going to go back up again, just to make sure that all sits perfect. And again, it's just a question of just staying in there. Now we cross-check, because we've got 4 quadrants to cut from. So literally just hold that up in the air, make sure everything's there and there's not any pieces we don't need. Somebody's trying to get in. It's Cameron, the model from the other night. Ooh. Okay, so... So now we're lifting it up on this quadrant, coming into the edge, point cut, just to make sure that everything's all okay. This is a working kitchen tonight, everybody. Right, okay, sit back around here. Hi. So if you'd like to follow me over here. Now I'm going up in the air again just to make sure everything's all nice and soft. As you can see, now we'll come through to the other part, that's it. Just to make sure we're there. Again, just keeping all the sections nice and clean while we're doing this. So again, it's really important. Just keep all your sectioning really tidy. And then it's really now just a question of on the bottom. This is called fanning round as you're doing this, because you're turning the hair as you're doing it. So just literally just point in there, so that's moving, and that takes off all the edges and keeps the whole thing soft. Go through this part again, exactly the same technique. There's a lot of work in this. People don't realise what goes into a haircut. It's quite a technical sort of way of working. But again, you can really sort of see that the difference is it makes everything look soft and natural. High. That's it. So you can sort of see what's happening. I'll just move around to this piece. That's it. Just make sure everything sits good. We'll go back through the products again in a minute and just make sure that everything is all emphasised again, because again the Muck products really tonight I've showcased just how smooth someone's hair can look with everything on here, from using the style stick, wide plate, through to the shampoo that we've used and the styling products also. So now I'm going to use the razor just to do the last parts. So I'll just pick up little pieces now. Again, this is really important to elevate on this part and then just really just stroke that through. All this will do now is just really soften the edges off. Again, it's a very visual effect, so you just have to make sure that everything just sits nice and works. Just have to make sure when you comb it, like now, that you're combing it with the right piece, otherwise it makes it really quite difficult. So otherwise you take too much hair off, which is what you're not supposed to. So you can now see that sits quite nice. Got a bit of movement in it as well, you can really see those layers. Again, later on the photos, when we take the pictures of Summer's hair, we'll be able to really showcase everything that's on there, which will really make a big difference. Right, let's come around to this side. Now, looking at this part here, we've got just a little bit of body just through there. So what I'm going to do in a moment is I'm going to take a fringe through this part, tiny fringe. Then I'll take the weight out of here. Then I'll use a convex layer with a rounded pair of scissors, and that'll just make a big difference. Is everybody okay with that? Excellent. So let's just put the fringe in first. So let's just take the section out. And then literally just, that's nice. Just to make sure everything just sits good. Again, this fringe has got to be really perfect. We call this a lunchtime fringe, because you can do it pretty quick. If you want to, if you cannot see, just remember what you see, everybody else can see. That's it, just give me a bit of elbow room. Thanks.
Go on your shoulder.
That's fine. Perch up there like a parrot. That's it. That's good. Thank you. And again, this just blends it through, just to make sure that everything just sits in nice in that fringe. Right, so let's just now use the razor to take a bit of weight off. Someone else just come on.
Oh, Andy Hardy said that he wants his hair like Cameron's, my son.
That's fine. We'll do that for you, Andy. No problem at all. It's not far off it now, but I'll do that for you. That's fine. With pleasure. All right, big mate, if that's how you like it.
Amy Lavender, Ben says hi.
Hi, Ben. Hi, Amy. Sure, Glenda will say hello to Bam Bam as well. Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, so now I'm going to use a curved pair of scissors just to make this quite interesting. So you've got a curve one way and a curve the other. So you've got convex, convex. Okay, so you've got convex, concave. So it's just slightly bent. So we're just going to use the convex shape now, just to give us a bit more shape on the fringe. So as it is cut, it will then blend into the rest of the haircut onto the face, which again is something quite different. So you can just see that just now fades in perfect into the rest of the haircut. Just come through this side, just do the same, that's it, just to make sure that all just looks nice. And again, it's all about finger positioning, cutting to the second knuckle, because again it's all the discipline on what you need. Right, so everything's all done now, which is nice. We're going to introduce our next product into the family tonight. We're going to use the hair lacquer, Muck hair lacquer this evening. So what we'll do is we'll just put a little bit of spray into the roots, move it with the fingers just to give it a little bit of body, just through there. And then as we come to finish off,
Christine.
got one more trick to pull out the bag.
Cynthia says hi, Glenda.
Yeah, Christine and Mike.
Christine and Mike, great to see you with us. Right,
That's
this comes your last little trick. Let's bring the camera round over here. Please, thank you. Right, so everything stays where it is. Okay, so as you can see, you've got a little bit of emphasis just there, but it's sit real still. Here we go. Just use the clippers now just to soften out the line just a little bit more. Can't really slip on this bit, otherwise it'll be a bit of a nightmare. Stay still, Summer.
Claire Hill's joined.
Claire Hill, great to see you with us tonight. Hopefully the champ's there with you also at Burbage. Great to see you with us. Claire Hill was one of our models recently. So, again, just to re-emphasise this again.
That looks lovely, doesn't
Put the
it?
clippers in there, soften it out. You sound really surprised.
No, it just looks really nice.
thanks. So now just put the clippers on. Soften it all off. Can't really make any mistakes. That's it. There we go. Okay, so last products for the evening. We're going to use the Hot Muck. Okay, this is the finishing serum that we're going to put into the hair now. So this basically will make the hair look really smooth, just to finish out. So just literally, it's a question now. Just
Mustafa.
Oh, Mustafa,
Okay,
yes,
alright.
from Men Street Hair. Great to see you with us tonight. I hope you're well. Nice to see you, brother. Okay, so I'm now just putting this through just to finish off, and you can really see just that all works through there.
Oh, that looks really nice.
The idea is everything looks shiny, smooth, sleek. Again, you'll see all these on the pictures later when we do everything. Okay, so now just for one more little trick just to finish off, I just need an assistant. There we go. Thank you, darling. Right, so this is like if you stand where you are, it's fine. So the last part of the trick is to get all the hair, twist it up, just to give us, thank you, give it a very different finish. Put spray on it, hair lacquer, hold it up for a second, let it down, and as you shake it off, it gives it even more body and even more movement, which is what you get in the magazine look. I use this technique a lot for that very sort of natural lived-in look. You can really see the layers come out. So the idea is we just showcase what the layers look like, and you can see everything on there.
Yeah.
So let's just have a little recap on what happened here tonight. Let's just take the gown first, because I should imagine Summer's dying to get it off. Stand up for a moment, Summer.
Stand up.
That's it. So this is what happened. We started tonight with, to begin with, we went into with the Blonde Muck blonde toning shampoo first of all. We then used the 1 minute treatment afterwards to re-emphasise the blonde hair on Summer's hair and really rejuvenate everything that was going on with it. We then went in with the Fat Muck Blowout Mousse, which then gave us a cutting lotion to work from. We then worked with, afterwards, the Kinky Muck Leave-In Moisturising Conditioner, which of course is designed for curly hair, which we then did the blow dry with the beard oil on, and then we went in with the haircut, which is when you joined us tonight. Yeah. So we started with the one length haircut first of all, which was cut through with the
Marie
claim
Axon's asking what the Hot Muck's for.
The Hot Muck is a finishing product. It's a good question actually. It's a serum which you can use to blow dry with, or you can use it to finish off with. It's the same really as a serum, but it really controls the hair a lot better and gives it shine and really makes it soft. I mean, this feels unbelievably soft. When I see you next time, I'll put it on your hair and then you can see. So, do the straight line in the back, cut through with a comb, which is like a ruler. We then came through the sides and used a razor blade, which then gave us a C-shaped curvature, which is then, as I said, we have a disconnection in the bottom, which we then joined that into it and gave us a shape. We then came through the back and did the stroking technique where we lifted everything up in the hair to follow the shape of the head, came round and cut to the Mastoid process, then went back round to the Mastoid process on the other side, using time as the dictator of the haircut to give us the layers with the shape. We then went from the apex to the upper occipital bone to then give us more shape, so that would give us more body on the top to finish off that part with the layer. We then came through the top, cutting a square layer through to a rounded layer, using the parietal ridge as a dividing point to make that haircut. So then it started to round it in just here and give us that really strong shape coming through. We then cut a fringe in, a very subtle fringe just there, and then raised that out to start blending all of this area in around the templar. We then joined in with the convex layer with the curved scissors to then give us that final piece that joined in. We also went through the back to soften that through, and then used the Hot Muck styling serum, and then also the hairspray to then give us a final look. The last trick was to twist the hair real tight and shake it off and give us some real more natural lived-in look, which I'm sure you'll agree. Summer's been a great model tonight. It's been a really, really nice transformation. I mean, when you saw the beginning with the style stick, how we've got one side set up perfectly, and the other side obviously wasn't so perfect, so you could really see how we'd work Summer's hair tonight. Well done, Summer, you've been absolutely brilliant on it tonight.
Thank you.
Alright, well done. Later on we'll come in with the photos very shortly. After we end this transmission tonight, we'll then do the photos and then showcase to you how everything worked. Thank you very much to our sponsors tonight.
Katie Barker said,
Katie Barker,
hi
Lucy.
Scott, enjoying your live feeds.
Thank you, Katie Barker. Big thank you to Muck Hair Care again for sponsoring the event tonight with their products, because again it's a great way to showcase just how good the products work in harmony with the Scott Bailey cutting education system that we've used also tonight. Thank you so much to everybody that's international and everybody that's national, friends, family and guests that come to Scott Bailey Hairdressing, and non-guests, people that want to be hairdressers, people that are not hairdressers. Hopefully it's been entertaining for you. Hopefully you've learned something. If you'd like me to be in your salon and teach your team, go to Scott Bailey Cutting Education on Facebook and feel free to inbox me. Or if not, come to our salon and we'll teach you there. But in the meantime, have a great week. Thank you very much to Damo and Jenny for letting us use their facilities for the last 48 hours. Our model tonight, Summer. Woo! Cameron the other night, 48 hours ago. And also my beautiful wife, Glenda, for putting up with me. Also my beautiful wife, Glenda, for putting up with me and yeah, just basically feeding me, watering me, and making me feel great about life. So have a great evening. Thank you very much for being part of this and for being part of the whole thing that we've been doing since June. We look forward very much to seeing you hopefully next week. Take care. Have a great evening. Ciao for now. Bye bye.
How do I turn it off?
How do I turn it off? How do I turn it off?